Hello.
Hello. Every time I watch that, I absolutely love it. I was like, so legit.
It's still my favorite. Most favorite thing I've ever made, I guess you could say.
It's pretty cool.
Except for your
Thanks.
children, maybe.
I meant like digitally.
Creatively.
Oh, here's Mo.
Yes.
Mo's here. Hi, Mo. That's my cousin. Okay, Eric, everyone, audience, this is our favorite person in the world,
Yes.
Eric.
Oh, stop it.
Eric, introduce yourself. Where are you from?
I am Eric Carter Landine from the podcasts True Consequences and Dos Pequeños, and I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Awesome.
Oh, that sounded so professional.
Thanks.
He might have done this before.
Once or twice.
A couple
maybe.
times.
At least 4 times that we know of.
For sure.
Yes.
So Eric was on tour with us. Like, it felt like yesterday,
It pretty much was.
It kind of was yesterday, yeah.
right? We had a blast. Love it. We're going to do much more with Eric in the future.
Yes. I'm super excited. I'm tired, but excited.
Hi, Bo. Yeah.
Has the week been going by insanely fast? Like you're just trying to get caught up from that 4-day show we had? That's how I felt.
Yeah, I finally unloaded all my equipment and like set it back up in the studio because I had to tonight.
Nice. Nice. Thankfully, we didn't have to bring all of our stuff quite like you did. Thankfully, you provided all of that for us. That was amazing. Or I don't even know. I still have like half of a suitcase upstairs in my closet that I just drugged to my closet floor. And I was like, well, as I use it, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll get through it.
Yeah, we will. So we can talk about the tour. I'm sure everyone who is going to jump on here is going to want to ask about the tour. What was your favorite night?
Oh, wow.
Or show?
I
Because
think
they weren't all at night.
Yeah, I think the first and the third were my two favorites.
Okay.
Okay. I definitely loved the venue for the third. Like
Yeah.
it was just, I don't know. I absolutely loved that area.
That's why I liked it. Yeah, the venue was so cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of it though has to do with the fact that we actually were able to drink wine at the third one. After 2 nights of beer when we're not beer people, that one was a little rough on us. At least me and Melissa.
It was good beer though.
It was.
Breckenridge, I absolutely loved that like lemony sunshine ball of joy drink I
Shandy.
drank.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I can't complain about any of the venues. I wish we could be a little bit louder on the second one. It
Yeah.
was kind of hard. We had some speaker issues, but it was a good places. I'm excited to go back to all of them.
Yeah, me too. And hopefully they'll want us back.
Hopefully.
Yes, hopefully.
It seems pretty positive across the board with them.
Yeah.
So.
I thought they all like went above and beyond, super helpful, like just wanting us to have a good time and enjoy and give us whatever we needed essentially. Like, oh yeah, rearrange this, do that. I was like, well, very accommodating for giving us this place for free.
I kind of felt like a rock star for a minute. I was like, this is really cool.
Yeah. Especially when we found out that Breckenridge comped our drinks.
Yeah, I know. That was cool.
That was very sweet.
I was like, what is this? Who am I? I'm fancy.
I would have really liked the grandma's house drinks that I was drinking there because those it was like grassweed and CBD. I don't know. It was amazing.
Terrible.
It was good though. But they were like expensive for canned drinks, but
yeah, and they didn't even have alcohol in them. They were like $5.
Yes, expensive for a regular drink, but they were good. It very mellowed me out. Yes.
Sweet grass is what Chris said.
Sweet grass. Yes.
I don't drink things with grass in it.
So speaking of things with grass in it, those little container things that Justin had brought.
Yeah.
The Magic Mind.
Yes, I tried it yesterday and I thought I really liked it too. I thought it was going to be way worse because you, Whitney, said you didn't really like it at all.
Well, it's because it was like right after I'd had a drink of coffee or something and it did not go well.
Okay. I was like, oh, I can drink these.
And it's a little shot. Like you can just down it real quick.
Yeah. I didn't try it. I left mine in my hotel room refrigerator. So
oops.
Somebody else can have it. Sorry, Justin.
The housekeeping came in and we're like, ooh, what's this? It's unopened.
It went in the garbage.
Yeah, probably. With COVID and all, I doubt they're
Mhm.
gathering up the leftovers.
Yeah, they're like, no, especially
Yeah.
things that are green like
Yeah.
that. Just
Yeah.
stay far away.
So we know all about true consequences. I want to talk more about Dos Bucanos.
Okay.
Oh, let's do that.
So Melissa doesn't like scary things.
Oh, but I like if Eric's telling me scary things, I can handle it. It's if I'm like seeing like a blockbuster or like something like that, then I'd be scared.
Okay.
But
it's not just scary things you guys cover.
No, and we do some. We call ourselves a paranormal comedy show because we think we're funny. I don't know if anybody else does. Maybe the tens of people that listen to us might think we're funny, but we come at it from a humorous way. There are some episodes that are kind of creepy, that freak me out and freaked me out when I was recording them, like the Skinwalkers episode. That one was creepy. There was one called the Pecos Triangle, which was also freaky. It was a little bit of a crossover between true crime and paranormal stuff because there's like all these people that just go missing in this one area of the mountains in Santa Fe. So Dos Pequeños is fun. I wish more people would listen to it because we have a good time doing it. I don't know. I enjoy it.
does it come out weekly?
No, it comes out monthly, and that's
Okay.
mostly because True Consequences like just eats
Yeah.
all my time. So
I'm sure, especially with this season, with it being your first true serialized deep dive, you've been crazy busy.
yeah, I'm almost done with production on season 5, which is awesome, but I'm also very tired, and I'm tired of listening to Mark Redwine's whiny voice. Like I'm so sick of him.
I can imagine.
Mhm.
Wow.
So you got hours and hours and hours of those tapes. I can't imagine going through them minute by minute, trying to pull out what you want to pull out. We've not had a FOIA request fulfilled in any major way. We've gotten like a few sheets here and there. Most of it's black lines.
Mhm.
Yeah, mainly black lines.
Some weather reports.
Yes.
I got really lucky because I requested the records from the sheriff's office, and this was right after the trial, and they said like we turned it all over to the DA, and so I just happened to email the DA and said, "Hey, I'm just wondering if it's possible for me to get some of the files that you have from the trial." And he's like, "Well, we're not done redacting all of them, but I have a bunch of them already up there, so I'll just send you the Dropbox link." And it was like thousands of pages, hundreds of hours of audio and video. It was really overwhelming. I'm so grateful that I've had a lot of help. I have my co-producer, Jackie Moranti, and JT Hosak, who also helped me go through a lot of that material, so I wasn't doing it all by myself.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was anything redacted in it, or did he kind of be like, "Oh yeah, we're going to redact it," but it never got around to it?
No, yeah, it was all redacted.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get everything. So there's a lot of like jailhouse calls. There's a bunch of audio that is alluded to but not included in the file, as well as some documents because they're still redacting them.
Okay. Interesting.
And for those that don't know, this is the Dylan Redwine case. That's what all of Eric's season 5 is about, because we just had a couple of people jump in here after we started talking about it. And it's a beyond sad case. I mean, there's not many cases that we cover that are happy by any means, but it's one of the darkest cases I think that we've stumbled across, even on the terrible ones we've covered, Melissa.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's like one of those like preventable, like did nothing, completely out of this world where it should not have happened.
Yeah, these child abuse cases are very close to my heart. Very important for me to tell these stories, and it's not something that a lot of people, really necessarily want to talk about or hear, but it's so critically important that we do talk about it because, I'm a big believer in whatever you ignore, you allow to continue. And so if we're not willing to talk about it, then how can we expect anything to change?
I love that mentality because there are sometimes that Whitney and I are like, we don't want to do a certain case because of certain reasons, but we're like, we have to. Like sometimes they just call to you and you have to talk about them, even though it is very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it really is. And it can be, it can be triggering for some people. I get it. But for those that can handle it, I really strongly encourage people to take the time to listen to these cases because they are important. And I think that we all have so much to learn from these things that happen.
And I mean, these child abuse cases, that's really what got you into podcasting is your brother's case. And so you said it hits close to home, but it hits much closer to home than some out there listening, watching us right now know with you because of Jacob.
Yeah. Jacob was a baby. He was 9 months old when he was murdered by my stepdad at the time. My mom asked me not to call him stepdad, by my mom's ex-boyfriend. At the time, he confessed. He was investigated. He failed a polygraph, which I know there's problems with polygraphs, but with everything around all of that, with the confession and with the evidence that pointed directly to him, it's really shocking to me that for 35 years we don't have a conviction. We don't even have a grand jury hearing. None of that ever happened. And so I started the show because I had all this trauma from my childhood and from losing my brother at a young age. I was only 6. And being gaslit by the authorities, being treated like whatever we went through maybe wasn't as bad as we thought it was. Those kinds of things happen all the time to people that are fighting for justice, where they're treated like second class citizens, or like, they're making a big deal out of nothing. And for a long time, I let that kind of keep me from saying anything, because I felt like if the authorities didn't believe me, then like who would, right? So I start seeing these cases come through New Mexico. Victoria Martins, Omar Varela, these children who are murdered by their people that are supposed to be taking care of them, people that are supposed to be protecting them. And I kept saying to myself that somebody should say something about this, because I felt like New Mexico just had an exorbitant amount of child abuse cases and child murder cases. And nobody really did, not in a meaningful way. And that's not to discredit or say bad things about the people that were trying. So I created this show as a way to create that platform, which is why I specifically focus on New Mexico. That was a lot of blabbing. Sorry.
No, it was
No.
good. Do you know the statistics on New Mexico versus other states?
So in 2017, 15 out of every 100 kids were experiencing some form of child abuse or neglect in New Mexico, and the average across the nation is somewhere around between 5 and 8 at that time. So it was significantly higher.
Holy moly.
It has gotten a little better, but it's hard to know because of the fact that we've been in COVID for 2 years, and reporting through schools and things like that probably weren't as prevalent as they should have been.
Mhm.
Do you know a reason why New Mexico? I mean, I've lived in New Mexico for a few years, and I mean, to me, it's just another state. Like, it doesn't seem like there's anything different about that state compared to, let's say, Texas or, California.
I think that there's a lot in New Mexico that create this kind of perpetual cycle of abuse, generational trauma. First of all, we're one of the poorest states in the nation. There's not a lot of jobs, and the jobs we do have don't necessarily pay well. On top of that, our education system, we struggle. It's always us in Mississippi racing to the bottom. So you have food insecurity, you have financial insecurity, and you also have some generational trauma. So people who are abused as children, that go untreated, that don't take care of that, whether there's a lack of resources or a lack of access to those things, that all compounds, right? And so you have somebody who's feeling the stress of not being able to afford to pay for their bills or to pay for their kids' needs. And they also haven't dealt with their trauma, and maybe they have some addiction challenges because of their trauma. All of those things kind of come together to create this perfect storm. On top of that, I don't feel like our child protective services system here in the state is funded enough. I don't feel like they have the resources or the knowledge on what to do in these cases. And we see over and over again kids being reunited with their abusers, even though there is sufficient evidence to prove that they are being abused. So there's just so many issues in New Mexico that create this problem.
Okay. I did have a question about Jacob's killer. Is there a reason why he hasn't been prosecuted? Is it still like kind of just going slow, or is there no chance that he is going to be indicted one day?
So I can't talk a lot about that specifically.
Okay.
I can tell you that I can answer part of your question. So initially, the DA at the time told my mom that he wasn't going to prosecute because she had given him an alibi. And when I look at the investigation and I look at the files from the police and the interviews, he's referring to a conversation my mom had with an investigator where she was asked if she felt it was possible that her boyfriend could have done this to Jacob intentionally. And her response was, I don't think so. Because at the time, we didn't.
Yeah.
At the time, he was the nicest guy you've ever met. And he was fun and engaging. And, he was somebody that everybody respected and loved. And he was friends with all of the police. He played basketball with them every weekend. So even when my mom would, later on when he started to be physically abusive to her, even when she would call the police or the police would be called by a neighbor, they would kind of just believe him and leave. And then she would pay for that. She would pay for the cops being called, even if she didn't do it. So when she said, I don't think so, the DA somehow, I don't know, interpreted it as an alibi, which it totally isn't an alibi. Because
No, it sounds like an I'm scared answer, and we need to ask you more questions and realize that you're in a safe place.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, that's why he declined to prosecute. And then at the time, in the 80s, second degree murder, child abuse resulting in death had a statute of limitations of 6 years. Yeah.
Wow.
And so, because the DA refused to prosecute, 6 years passed, and then it was like nothing could be done. And it wasn't until I think it was like 2012, 2013, somewhere around there, that the Supreme Court of New Mexico overturned a ruling about that statute of limitations, which opened the way for more cases from the past to be able to be brought back. But at that time, the DA wasn't interested. The new DA wasn't interested in pursuing it. So I am working, and I did do a campaign for the DA's office in Socorro. I'm working with. I got a response from them. I'm actually working with the Attorney General's office to see what can be done with Jacob's case.
Oh, you're such an amazing person, Eric.
I mean, I'd like to think that anybody in this situation, would want to fight for their brother. I don't know.
What were you joking around about on the not even joking around about on the tour? Like when Eric introduced himself, he's like, and I'm a downer because everything I talk about is negative.
Oh no, I said I'm a bummer. My show was
bummer.
my show was a bummer because I do talk about child abuse cases, because I do talk about domestic violence. And I always try to point out the issues in the legal system here in New Mexico when I'm covering these cases to educate people, because there's so many complicated intricacies. And I think that if we can all be better informed, we can vote better and we can make better choices with who we put in office here.
Awesome.
Are there any legislative changes going on in New Mexico, like currently being campaigned for, that you're looking into positive change regarding domestic violence?
There wasn't a lot regarding domestic violence this year, but there were bills for funding for additional sexual assault resources because we're extremely underfunded here in New Mexico. I think probably Albuquerque, Bernalillo County, Santa Fe County, and Doña Ana County, which are the biggest three counties in the state, are the only ones that really have resources. So when you go out to rural areas, people may not have access to any kind of counseling or any kind of, you know, trauma informed medical care, any of those things. And so some of those funds have been approved. There was a push to close the loopholes that we have. We have like a revolving door system here where I think like 5 or 6 years ago we got rid of bail. And basically you either are going to be remanded to incarceration prior to your sentencing, or you'll be remanded to your home and be under house arrest. And the idea was that it would ease jail crowding. And every time New Mexico tries to ease jail crowding, we end up with a massive influx in crime. Because what happens is the legislators say, we're only going to release people who are not convicted of a violent crime. But what happens is people who are convicted of violent crimes get released. And it's been happening for a long time. So there's been some effort to do that. I'm really hoping that that gets done to turn over the bail reform and go back to having bounty hunters and bail and all those things, which I know is not really popular in some people's minds, but I've seen what happens as a result of what they've done, and I don't want it to continue.
Wow. I didn't even know that was an option to not have bail. Wow.
Me neither.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always forget like how different states can be.
I know.
Like you just get so used to the state you live in, and you know the basic, like, you know, there's no statute of limitations on murder, and you just kind of get used to those kind of feelings, and then you find out stuff like this and you're like, what?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Like
Yeah,
every
people-
state is its own little country and has its own rules, and you're like, what?
Absolutely. And that's why I think, you know, politics at the local level are super important, especially if you're looking for ways to improve the legal system or, you know, legislation, those things. It makes a huge impact on your life. You know, the federal stuff, yeah, absolutely impacts me, but to a smaller extent. If we didn't have that statute of limitations, maybe there was a DA somewhere in the middle that would have taken up Jacob's case, and maybe I wouldn't be here.
I mean, we like that you're here because that's how we met you. But also, yes, it would be a much better world if you didn't have to podcast to get justice for your brother.
Yeah, I think it's a tough thing, and I talk to people like Sarah Turney and others that are in this space trying to advocate for their loved ones, and it's so brutal, it's so draining, and I find myself being very protective of the families that I talk to and the stories that we share. And if people start, victim blaming or talking smack, I get really mad. You probably saw some of my rants on social media a few weeks ago.
Yes. There's one in particular that we felt very strongly about. We hear Kelsey German and the things she goes through every single day of people just berating her on social media for no reason whatsoever. All she is trying to do is to solve her sister and Abby's murder. That's all she is trying to do. And they're telling her that she's lying and that she knows all these things. And she's like, if I knew, wouldn't I tell someone? Like,
right. Yeah. What do you have to gain from talking about this stuff in public? Like, honestly, I've had people tell me that, I'm just trying to get rich off of my stupid dead brother. Like that was a comment that somebody left. And
wow.
And I mean,
Yeah.
we live this indie podcast life. We are not getting rich.
No.
We are bleeding money. So that's cute to think that I'm getting rich off my brother, but I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cute. Would you like to see my bills? Because here you go.
Yes.
You know,
exactly.
here's my credit card statement for this last month.
Right.
For all of the podcast stuff. Yeah.
People are insane.
Yeah. It's easy to judge from the sidelines, and it's easy to have that hindsight, in a situation that my family wasn't lucky enough to have while all of this was happening. And so it's fine. It says more about them than it does about us.
Still, in the moment, it boils our blood.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to stay quiet when they're like that, but essentially that's all they're looking for is that attention.
Yeah, it's true, and they want that reaction. But I've had some luck changing people's minds on things. I've had a little bit of luck, so that feels good. Every now and then somebody comes around, and I feel like I'm doing a small little part to help make the world a better place.
You totally are.
You are. So let's talk about the future. We've talked about the past a little bit. What's next for Eric besides season 5 continuing?
Well, season 6, of course.
Are you gonna take a break in between?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm kind of throwing around the idea because I'm pretty far ahead on this season. I'm thinking maybe I can just keep going, and if I don't get burnt out, maybe I can maybe I won't have to take a break. Maybe I can just keep releasing content. We'll see what happens. I don't want to promise anything and then let people down either.
Do you have an idea for season 6?
I've got a whole list of cases I'm covering.
Nice.
So I think the way I'm going to going forward is I'll do 2 seasons a year if I do seasons. And I'll do episodic for one, and then a deep dive on a case for another. If I keep releasing weekly, then it'll just suddenly be a deep dive, and that's what'll be happening. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. And then really want to get my nonprofit off the ground, which I've been kind of swamped and unable to get going. It's called Angels Voices Silence No More, and the idea behind it was very elaborate and complicated, and I've kind of pared it back a little bit just because I like to overcommit and do more than I need to on everything.
Oh, you're a Whitney.
I am. I am. So originally it was going to be like this whole thing, and now it's just going to be basically a granting service for families of murder victims, to help them with funeral expenses, to help them with advocacy costs for billboards or social media ads or whatever. That's eventually what it's going to become. So I'm looking for board members. And
I know you prefer people that are in New Mexico, right?
It's a preference, but it's not required. If somebody's extremely passionate about justice in New Mexico, then they're welcome to join as well. But it's all going to be for families in New Mexico specifically.
Awesome. Yeah, that's amazing.
It's so awesome.
And then I'm going to go back on tour because I had such a great time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we can't wait to do something with you again, tour live show wise.
Yeah, come to New Mexico. Let's do Santa Fe and Albuquerque together.
Throw some dates at us.
I could only imagine the amount of people in that area that would come to see you.
Yeah, but they'll come see you too because you'll be hanging out with me.
They'll get to know us while we're there. But you've got a Bob says he's in.
Bob says he's in.
Yeah, yes, Bob. That'd be fun. Bob is going to make a guest appearance on season 5 of True Consequences on the Dylan Redwine case. He and I are going to analyze the trial together, and he's going to give the defense attorney perspective, and it should be very, very interesting. And I'm hoping I'll learn a lot.
Oh, that's great. Bob's the best.
Having his knowledge just to break things down that are overly complicated on trials. Oh, it's going to be awesome.
I'm excited about it. So yeah, Bob, anybody else that wants to come hang out in New Mexico, let's do it. Let's have a big party.
When are you thinking?
Yeah. What are your dates?
Oh God. Sometime.
Okay. We're free sometimes.
Yes.
It's going to be like after CrimeCon, probably.
Okay. Yeah. That's
better for our schedule.
Yeah. Maybe between CrimeCon and True Crime Podcast Festival, somewhere in the middle between those two things.
Okay. So like June.
Like June-ish.
Yeah, June-ish. Okay.
I feel like we can make that work.
Cool. I mean, we'll just do a weekend like we did last time.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Maybe 3 shows, not 4. The 4th show, we were very, very tired.
So yeah, I was thinking an East Albuquerque, West Albuquerque, and then Santa Fe. You just need one in Santa Fe.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah, we're in for that.
Absolutely. We were talking today about like what's next. Or the next thing we have is we're going to be in New Orleans in March. I always get the date wrong. What is it, Melissa?
March 24th.
Yep. And then 2 days later, we'll be in Mobile, Alabama because they're so close together. Sarah's
Sarah.
here.
Hi, Sarah.
We were just talking about you.
It was all
Little-
good stuff.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be there just doing a meetup, not a live show, but just a meetup at a couple local places.
Mhm.
I'm pretty excited about that. Those are great towns as well.
I'm just excited to go to NOLA.
Yes.
I wish I could go to New Orleans and Mobile, but my March is just
Crazy.
it's
I get it.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be in Mobile on the 26th, Bob. Come down.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Charlie and
Josh.
Josh will be
Josh
there.
Yep.
I think Nina said she was going to try to go too.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time.
Are you doing Savannah? Did you decide yet?
Are you guys doing it? No.
Because it's the same weekend as Melissa's son's 16th birthday.
Well, I mean, I
Close
could
enough.
always bring them or whatever. You buy a kid a car, they're like, we'll do whatever. So
I'm torn. Oh yeah, I am booked for Phoenix. Forgot about that. That's
So-
true. That's coming. That's coming in the near future. I didn't forget, but like we don't have a firm plan yet.
okay.
We're supposed to go to Phoenix too, so maybe we can plan that out together.
The more, the merrier. Yeah, I have a friend that lives in Savannah, so selfishly, I want to go see him. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how I feel about it.
I guess we haven't decided full on no
Yeah.
yet. It was just the weekend that it falls on is very close to Melissa's husband and son's birthday, so
Yeah.
it's kind of just a rough time frame for
Yeah.
family life.
Yeah, and we're going to be going to Indiana in August, probably. I don't know what time in August, but sometime in August, right?
Yeah.
Was it right? I have the right month. But yes, so
Yeah, we were talking about going to Indiana and then driving up to Michigan. There's a cult up there we are wanting to
Ooh.
cover. Perhaps a girl went missing from a cult, so it's kind of a twofer for us. And we were talking about doing it for our Merlot files. We were wanting to meet Shane from Foul Play. He wants us to come by because we didn't see him the last time we were in Indianapolis, Indiana area. And then I think Bob's doing a spooky show somewhere nearby Champaign, Illinois. We had talked about making like the rounds and just like dropping in and saying hi, but I don't know if we'll be able to.
That sounds like fun. I mean, I think I travel a lot. Y'all travel, I think, more than me, probably.
we're getting there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it seems. Yeah, last year we did quite a bit, and then I feel like this year we've like planned things out like crazy ahead of time.
Yeah,
We've never been this prepared.
that's good.
Yeah, ever.
Maybe I need your help because I can't get my shit together.
Well, we did have a 4-hour meeting today to get our shit together, so sometimes it takes a bit of time to.
All right,
cultivate.
Jackie, we need a 4-hour meeting, okay?
Was Jackie the one that was at one of the shows?
No, Jackie lives here in New Mexico, and she's
Okay.
my co-producer for this season.
Gotcha.
She's
I
written
couldn't- You
probably
introduced
half.
us to someone, but I couldn't remember their name. I'm sorry. I'm bad with
Oh,
names.
that was my friend Jessica.
Jay. It was a J.
Yeah.
Jessica.
Shout out to Jessica.
Bring beer. We'll always bring beer. Just set up a mirror, Sarah. It's fine.
Yeah. Just do a StreamYard or a Zoom.
Yeah, just talk everything through. That's all you need to do. Just chat it through with yourself. Does that make sense? Yes, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, Sarah, Jackie was on the live stream. Both of you were commenting on Friday night.
Oh, yay. I forgot about the live stream Friday night. It was such a blur. I'm still like, it's all one show in my brain. I have not separated it out yet.
One show with different types of drinks.
Yes.
Yes.
I fell asleep as soon as I got home. I was dead.
Same.
Yeah.
I can't even remember getting home. Like,
Because your flight got delayed.
yes, that's right. Our flight was delayed. We got to the airport in Colorado Springs
Mhm.
at what, like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning?
Stupid early.
Very early, very, very early, because we had to drop off the car, all these other things. And then Chris and I did not get home until like 11 p.m.
Wow.
No, it was a very long day.
It was very scandalous. Drinking beer 2 nights in a row.
Yes.
I have
At least
lots
it
of
was
I
fruity
have lots
beer.
of pictures for blackmail purposes, Sarah.
It
Yeah,
was a
so
very good time.
it was such a good time. And so I made it home before Melissa and Chris did, all the way to Austin, even though they had further to go. They were supposed to get home before me. I ended up making it home and I crashed. I mean, I put my kids to bed and it was like 8:30. I was in bed.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a good time, but I'm super introverted, so it took a lot out of me to
Same.
be on all the time.
Mhm.
Same. That
I'm
fourth
sup-
show, I didn't talk at all until like we started. I'm like, I just need some time. I'm just gonna be quiet and
Yeah.
like process, and then I'll talk during the show. And it was good. Once I get talking, I go on. But
I can't imagine being introverted because it was a lot for me. And I will talk to literally anyone or any object that will make a noise back at me. I talk to my dog like she's a human
she does.
all day long.
I get daily pictures.
Well, I want on this distribution list of dog pics.
Okay. You're gonna regret that real
No,
quick.
I won't. I love dogs.
Tongues is the cutest.
She's the cutest.
She's really thinks she's human though.
She's underneath my feet right now because she can't be more than 3 feet away from me.
My dog Cabot is very much in the vein. He thinks he's one of our children, and yeah, he's pretty bossy, honestly.
Yeah, see, Sarah, we're just gonna have a dog group chat.
Yes,
I
I'm
like
here
it.
for the dog content for sure.
Yes.
And I love seeing Sarah's popcorn posts. They make me so
Mhm.
happy.
Yes. Love it. So we just crashed too afterwards. I told Melissa, I said that now I understand why celebrities need like Club Med after they
Yes.
go on tour. And I'm like, we only did 4 nights. I can't imagine doing like 6 months or whatever actual
Yes, an
celebrities do.
international tour, like
Yeah.
no, can't happen.
Although if you want to send me internationally, call me up. Like I'm there for that. I'm there for
Okay,
the travel
we'll
of
do it.
that.
Same.
Well-
Yeah.
We'll figure it out afterwards.
Yep. Yep.
Sign us up, and then we'll worry about our mental health afterwards.
Yes. Yes.
It'll be
And
fun.
our physical safety. I mean,
That
we're
also
just-
that.
we're just agreeing to go places. We don't even know where we're
I
going.
know. Oh, you have no idea, Eric. We'll talk one time about things Whitney and I sign up to do.
Oh no. Okay, I can't wait to hear this story.
We agree. Whitney agrees too quickly. Melissa's like, I have questions, but okay. And I'm like, it's fine. We'll do it. It's whatevs. Spain and Greece
my
do sound pretty
gosh.
nice. I would love Greece is like my top 3 places I want to go in my life.
I went in 2018 and highly recommend.
I think Chris was there like around 2018.
Oh, nice.
I went to a nude beach, and then there was only a really old lady.
So
Wasn't
he was
the
scarred for
expe-
life.
Wasn't the experience he wanted, but whatever.
It's the experience he got.
Yes, that's all. Actually, just kidding. Crete is different, right?
It's
It's-
still in the Mediterranean, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of
So-
close.
I say that was Greece, and he's like, it was technically Crete. I'm
Right.
like, okay.
Like,
I
same
haven't
thing.
been
They
anywhere.
eat olives there. You're fine.
Yeah. The food was incredible,
Ah,
but just so you know, the wine is garbage.
That's okay.
Just so you know.
really?
Oh, yeah.
Do they have Grecian men there to fan me with palm leaves?
Oh, for sure.
then
Feed me
then I'll
drinks.
drink crap wine all day long.
Well, so there's 2 types, right? And this is what I call them because this is my experience. You have the option of rubbing alcohol.
I don't want that option.
Well, you might, because the other option is what I call raisin juice.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the rubbing alcohol because I'll just
Correct.
pretend like it's Everclear and just get it over with.
And after
you
a couple
probably-
drinks, you'll be fine.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, do you just get drunk quicker and then you don't even really care how
I
it
don't know.
tastes?
I don't know, but it's not good. It's not the
That's
food-
scary.
The food's incredible though.
Can
Okay.
you bring your own wine? Like, can we hop over to Spain, grab stock up on some cases, and then
Oh,
come
well,
over?
they have import wine. You know, you can get some Italian or some Spanish or French
Okay.
wine while you're there.
It's just more expensive.
Just
No
don't
Snoop Dogg?
just don't get the Greek wine.
Yeah.
No,
Okay. So there's no 19 crimes over there. So what you're
No,
telling us?
19 times.
I don't know. Maybe.
I doubt it. But
I
you never
doubt it.
know.
But if
Snoop is
Snoop's
pretty-
watching, he can just ship us some.
Yes.
I mean,
You
I'm
know.
waiting for him to become your official sponsor.
Oh, we try.
We try so hard.
We do. What's he think? He's in the Super Bowl or something? Like,
Who does he think he is?
Right.
no,
Snoop
not
Dogg?
responding to us.
We'll get there eventually.
Yes, you will. I believe in you.
So maybe we should do all these tours for like a year. We'll do like here in America for the rest of the year.
Mhm.
Let's save up money, and then we all do like a random Greek. Like we'll do Greece, we'll do Spain, and we'll do like Italy.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Like 10 days over there, and we'll just do 2 shows in each location so we can still have time to like
Yeah.
experience it.
Like have like Monday through Thursday for touristy stuff, and then like Friday, Saturday, Sunday do shows. I
And
have to
then-
do it.
And then we can go to CrimeCon UK.
Yep.
Yeah. I've got to
There's
fill
our
out that
plan.
inquiry form because I filled out the wrong one.
Yeah, do it.
What?
Yeah, Eric found the right one. I said, we filled it out. And Eric goes, no, you did the wrong one. Here's the right one. And it's still on my phone. I just haven't filled it out
Oh
yet.
shoot! What did you fill out? What did you sign us up for?
The inquiry form, I already told you we were going to do it.
No.
We should do it on the
CrimeCon UK.
US one on accident.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
just meant like.
So they're going to be like, why did you send us a third one, Whitney?
You're like, bro.
We already said you could go, but we're pulling it off.
You're like,
can't go now.
I'm extra interested.
We're
We wanted
rejecting you now.
Wanted to make sure they knew that
Yeah.
we wanted to be there.
Just triple checking. What's wrong
I
with
mean,
that?
I did the other and wrote CrimeCon UK. So
You
like,
did do that.
They are 2 different organizations.
yeah,
Oh,
well, maybe they can
shit.
forward the email.
They're now gonna
Unlikely,
do it.
but
They get a lot of email, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
I could spend 3 weeks overseas, Bob. Don't
Yes.
tempt me.
Yeah. It's not like we have jobs or anything.
No. I mean, this
This
is my
is.
job now.
This is my job.
I wish it was my job.
Do we know anyone with a private plane so I can bring my dog for free?
Can we just get like a really wealthy benefactor to just like support us?
Oh my gosh, that would be nice.
How do we get in line for that?
We need like a podcast sugar daddy.
I was like, well, Whitney and I kind of
Or a podcast sugar mama?
already.
Yeah.
Or like
They're not like sugar daddy. They're like sweet and low daddies.
Yeah. They buy
Oh,
us
wow.
all of our necessities.
Yes.
right. Okay.
I
And then
will
sometimes
say
we can talk them into a little bit extra.
a little bit extra.
Yeah.
I will say that this tour, our husbands have never been so all in on the podcast until this tour. They've been very supportive, but
Chris
now
has
they're
always been all in.
yeah. But I mean, like now they're like, okay, we've got to buy all this extra equipment. We're gonna buy a van and we're just gonna haul their stuff around for them. We're gonna
Yes.
fly them out there. They can have a spa day while we're driving out there. We're gonna film while we're driving. Like they've got this whole thing planned.
They're so adorable.
Well, can I go on the spa day?
Yeah,
You sure can.
of
Okay,
course you
great.
can.
Because you are the podcaster, so you get to fly in
Oh,
with
we're
us.
We're the talent.
We're the
Yes.
talent.
Yes, precisely.
Oh,
And there are
Lord.
groupies.
Yes.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. They're funny dudes.
They are funny.
No, honestly, thank you to both of them because they helped so much through the whole thing. Yes, podcast sugar daddy should totally be a thing. 100%.
See, Allison needs one too.
It's like
Yeah.
we have a different type of OnlyFans page.
Oh my
We talk
god.
about true crime.
Wait,
and-
this is a business idea. We need to. That's ours. That's ours. We're claiming it. How do we make this work? I have a husband in tech. How can we make this work?
We need an app, I think. I don't know.
we need a nap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your son needs
talked
to go to school
murder.
to learn how to make an app because didn't he want to do that at one point, Melissa?
Oh, they've wanted to do everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. How do we do this?
I don't know. Talk murder and show our toes.
Ugh.
Sorry, you're gonna have to get over the foot fetish. Sorry. It's what people
Can
are
it be
into.
elbows? Can it be elbows? Like
That's
I
what-
can't do
elbows.
feet.
That's what pays the bills. Sorry.
Yes. It's what the people want.
I can do like elbows and knees, but the feet, maybe ankle.
Ankle.
That's
I
the
was gonna
best I
say
can do.
ankles.
I wanted to start a ghost OnlyFans for Dos Pequeños where we just
Share spooky tales.
we'll be
the-
like, oh,
the-
this is like ghosts having sex, but you just can't see them.
Oh shit.
That's the greatest. Or it's
That's-
like just a sheet.
Yeah. Just
Oh
a
my
sheet floating on top of the bed.
Like you
Oh,
throw
I
it up
love
and then like film it coming
Yeah,
down.
yeah, that's super quick. You gotta catch it at the right moment.
That's $1 million idea.
You'll be
Yes.
take it. Wow.
That's our intellectual property. We've claimed it. You can't have it.
Yeah. Oh, they can't hear us?
No,
the
it's
the
the
ghosts.
ghosts.
Maybe. Yeah, we could do like a soundtrack to make it
Yeah,
more
some
realistic.
ooh.
I know, like what kind of
I
sounds
do
do
voice
the
acting on the
ghosts
side.
have while they're having sex? I don't even know. Just normal
It
sounds?
could be like ghost foot porn. Nobody's gonna know.
Nobody's gonna know. So you could totally make it up and they'd
Yeah,
believe.
I
exactly.
mean, I feel like there's no precedent for what ghosts sound like when they have sex.
Yeah.
So like you could just create your like just bang two pillows together.
Well, have you seen those like weird shows where there's people that are like in relationships with ghosts and
Oh yes.
married to ghosts?
No, is this also a TLC show?
Oh, 100%. I don't know
It
which
would
show it
be
is, but
It
yeah.
probably was at one
Yeah.
time.
Or like A&E?
Okay. Whitney does not watch
I don't
reality.
do reality TV.
I
I'm
am a
sorry.
sucker. So is Chris. We watch it all the time. We have our shows. And right now it was The Single Life, from 90 Day Fiance. But like Chris checks every 3 days to see if there's a new episode, but it's over. But he still checks. Be like, oh, is Big Ed back on there? Nope, he's done for the day.
I only know who Big Ed is because of Melissa.
Yep. It's crazy. It's such a funny show. You feel better about yourself because these people are crazy.
Well, I guess whatever it takes, right?
Yes, but it's such like like after researching so much murder.
Yeah, it's a
It's
nice
a
palate
palate
cleanser.
cleanser.
I just love all that crazy drama that's totally fake.
Yeah, I'm totally into these like Spanish modern telenovelas. So that's what I've been palate cleansing with, but they're very
Yeah.
dramatic.
Yeah,
Nice.
over the top.
Way over the top. Yeah.
That's what you
Okay.
need.
I like to watch fake shows about murder when I'm not Googling murder.
Like
Which is not-
Murderville.
I have watched Murderville. That was funny. The Kristen Bell one was funny.
Oh, that Kristen Bell one.
The woman in the house across the street from the girl in the window, which is the longest title known to mankind.
It's weird though. I'm not through it all yet, but it's weird.
And then like
Did you
when I
watch the
do,
whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
you got to watch the whole thing because
I
it's so many
know.
twists and turns.
It's just weird. It's
When I explained it to my husband, he comes home from work and I'm watching it, folding laundry. He's like, "What are you watching?" And I was like, "Oh, it's this show about a woman who drinks a bottle of wine at one time and she thinks she sees a murder across the street." And he's like, "So you're watching yourself?"
it's just like the kids opening up the toys and other kids watching them on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a woman drinking wine trying to figure out a murder, and that's us watching ourselves.
Yeah.
It's fine. She
I
drinks
said maybe, but she
ton
doesn't have a
of wine.
podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely on a watch list because of what we Google. 100%.
100%. Yeah. Me too.
I have a friend from high school, my best friend that lives in Michigan. She will text me things and say, "Hey, will you Google this because you're already on the list?" Sure, and then I just screenshot it
Yeah.
and send it to her.
So I can Google whatever. I'm cool with it. But when I start getting into the really, really weird cults and they still have like their websites like available, I get so freaked out that they're gonna track me. Like that's the only thing that freaks me out. What was that one? Whitney?
Scientology.
Scientology will do that.
So it's not. It was Cthulhu.
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 Oh, the Cult
Yes.
of Cthulhu.
Those people freaked me out.
I like to call it the Davy Jones cult
Mm.
because he
Their
looks like Davy Jones from the Pirates of the Caribbean.
their website was scary.
We just had this cult leader or co-leader released from prison. She was believed to be responsible for some like massive child abuse that resulted in one of the kids dying just outside of Grants, New Mexico. But they released her from prison, so that's exciting.
Well,
Was
that's
she one
fun.
of the non-violent people that was released?
No, I think she just came up for parole.
Oh.
And, yeah.
Lord.
And they thought this is a good one to let go.
"Yeah, let's just let her out. It's fine."
It's the aggressive Christian mission corps. So they were like a quasi army, whatever you call that.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Eek.
they were training for the end of the world war. and
feel like
Armageddon.
75% of cults are thinking the world's going to end in our
Yeah.
lifetime. And
But, you
that's
know,
they're trapping-
Isn't that one of the boxes though? Like when they check it, it's like must have money to steal from people, must harm children, must have multiple wives, must have end of world.
Yes.
You know, like it's one of the
Doctrine.
boxes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's definitely a checkbox for sure. We had another one too that was like this guy that just heard from God one day and was like, "Hey, everybody, it's time for me to sleep with all your wives and give me all your money." And
Yes.
then and then he got like arrested. And we have so many crazy cult stuff. You should look at New Mexico cults. Honestly, we have a bunch.
Definitely should.
We'll do that. We'll definitely do a cult for New Mexico when we get there. We're almost there. We're in the
We're
M's.
almost there. I just did a cult for Minnesota. Well,
But tell him which cult we recorded
No.
today for Minnesota. It's
it's
the Latter-day Saints.
well, no, the
The
fundamental.
Oh, the
fundamental
FLDS.
The
Mhm.
FLDS. Yeah, no, we're not touching.
Yeah, we're not getting
LDS.
that. Yeah.
We're not touching that. But the FLDS.
Speaking of
they
people
actually-
that track you.
Yes, they just bought a bunch of land up in Minnesota, and like the town is not happy.
Ooh.
It's
Yeah,
Warren
that's-
Jeff's son,
No,
Oh,
his
great.
brother. His
Brother.
brother. Yeah, his brother just bought the land. so-
relative.
Yeah.
He has the
He's
same
in
last
jail
name.
and he's in prison for life and still running that whole shebang. He's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the mob. It's like the mafia where they're still running it no matter what.
Did you know that Heaven's Gate was in New Mexico for a minute?
I did. We talked about it with. You weren't on that call when I
wasn't.
talked to that other podcast.
Yes, out of
The
San
Art of
Diego.
Discussing. Yes.
Yes.
She actually lived in San Diego when it was in San Diego, like just down the street. She remembers all about it. So she was telling me all about it. I was like, that's nuts.
She like knew everything. Like,
Mhm.
oh,
Cults love New Mexico. It's a great cult place. So
it's
that
wide
should be
open
on our
spaces.
should be on our tourism slogan. Cults love it here.
You
We have
guys-
high crime rates, and also cults love it here.
Yeah.
and you guys have the aliens. You guys are taking everything good. Okay.
Good is a strong
maybe not
word.
Maybe not good.
Everything weird.
Interesting.
Weird.
Weird. Okay.
Maybe y'all need to keep New Mexico weird instead of keep
Yes.
Austin weird.
Well, we get to keep Santa Fe weird.
Oh,
It's kind of the thing, yeah, because Santa Fe's weird.
So
Okay.
Santa Fe is the Austin of New Mexico.
Yeah,
I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, right? Because it's the capital too,
Sure.
and weird.
I
And weird.
just lived in the trenches of New Mexico.
In Alamogordo,
Yes.
yeah.
It was horrid.
I've never been that far into New Mexico. I've been to Clovis, which is like nothing. And then like the top northeastern corner, when you come from Texas to go to Colorado, that's about it. That's my extent of New Mexico travels.
Oh, this is like way south where I was at, like literally 30 minutes. It's
From
about 30
Mexico?
minutes from the border. Yeah. Very, very close. Is it that far? Or little
It's
bit
It's
further?
probably a couple hours.
I felt like it was close.
Yeah, it's like an hour from El Paso, I think, or an hour and a half
Yes.
from El Paso.
Okay, so yeah, it was about an hour from El Paso, like 30, 45 minutes from Las Cruces, because
Mhm.
that's like where we would go to do
Mhm.
anything, was Las Cruces or El Paso.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
you could see the border at El Paso.
Oh yeah, you can see it right there. So we don't have a music scene, not like Austin. We can't compete at all. We
Not
can't
many
even.
places can.
We can't even try to compete. Like it's just we don't.
Apparently, we're fixing to be real big in movies as well. They're building an entire movie set in Bastrop, not like 20 minutes from me.
Oh, nice.
Well, we already have that going here. We have the Netflix studios, and
Oh,
yeah,
Really? Of all places? That's not like I never thought that's
Oh, yeah,
where I mean, I don't know where Netflix would be.
it's
but,
Tamalewood.
Oh.
oh, did you just make that up?
No, that's what people
Oh.
call it. It's Tamalewood.
Melissa's like, you're so clever.
I know. Like, look at you.
I'm
No
not.
wonder you have a successful podcast.
I don't have an original thought in my brain.
I was like, I love it.
It's an hour 45 minutes to Las Cruces, according to your husband.
Actually,
He's on drugs. I did not feel like it was that far from Alamogordo to Las Cruces.
I know it's just
That
like
was
a shot down I-70 or
it was like the closest
Highway
place.
70. Yeah.
One thing I remember or that I don't like about New Mexico is all of the speed traps and the speed corridors where it's like if you get pulled over in this 40 miles, it'll be 5 times the amount on your ticket. even though it's a straight shot and you can see.
Yeah, they definitely are looking for those out-of-state plates. I can tell you that.
Yes.
Particularly Texas.
Especially Texas, yeah. We got beef with Texas.
We just like to drive fast here. There's a reason we have 80-mile-an-hour
I would
highways.
totally take the Texas drivers over the Florida ones. So,
Oh yeah.
yes, it's no
Everywhere
bueno.
Everywhere we've gone when we've rented a car to do our cases and things, it always surprises me. Like when we were in Indiana, the highway is 55 miles an hour.
It's
And I'm
insane.
like, I cannot do this.
We go
No.
55 miles in a school zone in Texas. They don't care. You got to get places. But there's less wrecks. I don't know why. Like nobody pulls out in front of everyone. Every day driving 2 miles, there's like 18 wrecks because people will pull out in front of people here in Florida. Like I
It
can't.
drives me crazy when we're driving other places. And I'm like, why can't I go 80? It's a highway.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Nope.
nothing. It is crazy that it's that low.
It was
Indiana-
rough in Indiana.
Indiana
It was,
really bad.
and we drove like 4.5 hours north to cover this case from where, because it started in Indianapolis, and then a severed limb was found 4 hours away. And so we're like, yeah, we'll just drive up there. It's no big deal. It's just it's like 100 miles. It's fine. And it took forever because there was nothing in between Indianapolis and this other town. It was just corn
It was corn and that's
and
it.
soybeans.
And we had to, well, Whitney had to drive 55 miles an hour, maybe 60 if we didn't see anyone around us.
That sounds like torture.
Basically,
Yeah.
it was. And there was nothing to look at. There's only so much corn you can look at.
Before it's like, that's enough.
That's enough.
That's enough corn.
Which is really funny because when we got off the plane in Indianapolis, we were like, "Where's the corn?" Because
Yeah,
there was
we
no
were shocked.
corn.
We
And
just
then-
thought in the middle of Indianapolis there would
Yeah.
be corn. That city is amazing. I absolutely love it. It's probably in my
Have
top
you been?
list now.
No.
Oh,
Okay, it's so pretty there. If you're in the city proper, like downtown, it's apparently like known for its monuments. It has monuments everywhere.
Wow.
And the downtown square was stunning. It has this giant fountain.
Yeah.
And every
like
day
a clock tower. Didn't it have
Mhm.
a clock tower?
it did. And like every point on the compass has a different sculpture. It's got bears in one spot. It's
Mhm.
got like people raising a flag in another spot. And of course, we went there the opening day of the Indianapolis Colts game. I guess it was their first home game.
Yeah.
So they shut down the downtown square. We got there early enough that there weren't people. They were still building the stage and stuff. But at noon, everything shuts down and they play like the national anthem. And it's just like a neat little
It
area.
was. It
I was
really cute.
surprised. And then we went by Jonestown's original church.
Oh, yes. Which we
Creepy.
would have never known because it's in the middle of a neighborhood. It's
Yeah.
just this church on the corner. And one of the uncovered ladies, Ashley, we met with her for dinner and she pointed it out. And we're like, what?
Wow.
Crazy seeing that. Like, that's where, I don't know if that's not where, did it get started there?
I don't know if that's where it started, but it's one of his churches.
Yeah.
What a scumbag.
I feel
Yeah.
like Indiana and Illinois are interchangeable, but I could be wrong.
That might be fighting words.
I was like, except
they?
for Chicago. Like, that might be a little different.
I mean, like
See-
the main state, like the main portion.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bob's our Chicago person, so he can tell me if I'm wrong.
We'll see if he gets mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm leaving this live.
Then
Well,
it's like,
Chicago.
and done.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just very like there's not a lot there.
No.
And I'm from Texas where everything's flat and there's not a lot here either.
Yeah, it's very spread out in Texas. New Mexico's like that too. Very spread out.
At
Lots
least
of
you'll
open
have
space.
a little bit more mountains. It's a little more mountainous. Here
Yeah.
it's flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chicago is a whole different thing than the rest of the state. It's like a anomaly inside the state. It's its own
Mhm.
state within the state for sure.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Wow, it's already been an hour.
I know. It went by quick. I was like, oh, I'm getting tired. I hope this goes by quick. And then once I get on, I'm like, I just love chatting with you guys.
Oh, I love chatting with you guys too.
All
Well,
right.
Oh, hi, Allison.
Hello.
I'm like, hi, Allison, we're about to leave.
Yes. Hi and
Hi,
bye.
Allison. Bye, Allison.
Bye.
Sorry. So sorry about that. Thank you for staying with us for 11 seconds. That was so much fun. It
Oh,
was. We're
good.
here every Thursday. Allison,
We
you need to
are.
come on and tell us about your podcast.
Yes.
Send us a message. We are always, Bob needs to come on. Anyone who
Yeah.
wants to come on. This is what our Thursdays are for, is just to hang out, chat.
We have
have
our
some wine.
husbands on backup
Yes.
for whenever we don't have someone on.
Yes.
So
They're our backup plan.
they are.
I think they're going to talk about DB Cooper.
They are. I'm so
When they
excited.
come
Well,
on.
I feel like I know everything about DB Cooper because I read my husband's notes. So now I'm going to be a whiz, guys.
Oh,
That's
I
awesome.
only know what I've seen on Without a Paddle.
Oh gosh.
That's the extent of my DB Cooper knowledge. It's some Matthew Lillard and Seth Green and Dax Shepard. That's all I got.
I know you're there, love, now, but you'll come on eventually.
Well, thank you
All
for
right,
coming,
good
Eric.
night.
Wait, tell everybody where
Oh,
they can find
sorry.
you that may not know you.
Sure. You can find True Consequences and Dos Pequeños pretty much wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also go to trueconsequences.com, or you can follow me on social media.
Yes. Perfect. Bye, everyone.
Bye.